In this video, we'll explore how to set up the Material Staging app, which allows users to identify, prepare, and stage materials prior to production. Get started by using the Assisted Setup. Choose Assisted Setup, and then scroll down to Set up Material Staging. Select the number series that will be used to number your staging orders, and the one that will be used to number the kits, which are groups of items brought together for staging. In both cases, I'm going to use the default number series. If you don't want to use the default reports for printing kit barcode labels or staging instructions, then you can change the values here. I'll leave the default values, choose Next, and Finish. Next, I need to create staging bins into which the kit items will be placed. On the location card, select Bins, and enter the code and description of the staging bin. The dedicated checkbox must be selected for staging bins. Back on the location card, in the Warehouse Fast tab, make sure the Bin Mandatory toggle is turned on. And in the Bins Fast tab, select the staging bin that was just created. Bins can also be assigned to a work center or machine center. When a staging bin is pulled into a production order routing, the bin is from the first work center or machine center operation. If no bin is assigned, the system checks subsequent operations, and if none have a bin, that's when the bin from the location will be used. Now I'll create kit groups for the components being staged and for the manufactured items. For example, I'll create a spices code for the items that need to be mixed prior to production, packaging for packaging materials, and an FG code for the finished items. I will assign a subgroup to the spices code, select Related, Subgroups, and I'll enter Wet and Dry. Next, I'll assign a kit group to a production and component kit group combination. The kit production group determines how the components in a kit group are grouped together when staging a production order. I'll select the FG code, which represents the item being manufactured, and packaging for the items being grouped into kits for staging. Then I'll select how the components in the kit will be grouped together. I want to gather all the packaging for an entire day's worth of production orders, so I'll select Orders. This groups components together from multiple production orders. I'll add another line, still using the FG code, and this time selecting spices. For the kit production group, I'll select Order Line, because I want to group spices together for each individual production order and for each production order line. Another option is Batch, which groups the components together by batch. This option is only available if the Production Batch app is installed. See the online help for steps on using material staging with production batching. For items being used in staging, the kit group needs to be assigned to the manufactured item and the components being staged. I'll assign the spices kit group to all of the items that I want to group together in a kit. On the item card, for the salt item, on the Replenishment Fast tab, I'll select the kit group and the subgroup. If I want to stage bulk items on their own, you can select a bulk unit of measure. I'll select Bag. I will also assign the spice kit group to the pepper item. I've already assigned the packaging group code to my packing items. Finally, I need to add a kit group to the item being manufactured. In this case, I'll select the FG code for the sausage item. When a kit group is added to an item, the group is automatically added to new BOMs when the item is added as a component. However, for an existing production BOM, kit groups need to be added manually, which can be done by selecting a kit group for each of the components. I'll open the BOM for the sausage, and we'll change the status to under development, which allows me to make changes. Then I'll add the kit groups in the Lines Fast tab. When I'm finished, I'll change the status back to certified. These values will default into new production orders created for this BOM. Now that the setup is complete, watch our video on how to work with material staging.